So to begin with, so let's talk about the first product, which is going to be a Forex. Basically, if you look at when we talk about any product for that matter, so we would like to buy something. Let's say if I'm planning to buy, okay, in the earlier days, if the kind of a transaction which we had is the barter system, and that's where we begin the entire transaction. So when I say transaction, let's say for example, if A is going to buy some product from B, so there is a transaction between A and B. So what is that we are going to buy? Let's say in the early systems, let's say if I'm planning to buy vegetable, so usually what we do is we exchange one vegetable maybe for another product. Sometimes they can give rice, and this is how we started with the barter system. But later we know, when I say currency, what we feel immediately is the INR. So basically, as far as Indian market is concerned, we have introduced a currency called the Indian rupee. Now basically, again, when I'm going to buy the same transaction in the later period of time, and A is going to receive vegetable, and obviously by exchanging Indian rupee, and this we normally call it as a vegetable market on a literal note. So what is then currency market is? So currency market is when we move forward. So basically, like when we go ahead on the transaction between two different countries. Now what is that I'm going to pay for every transaction which I'm going to receive? Let's say for example, if I'm going for an import, or if we are going for an export. So in most of the cases, when we go for import and export, what is the payment, how we are going to make the payment? Let's say for example, if I'm going to, let's talk about if any product, if I'm going to import gold, and we will talk about both commodity as well as currency. I'm going to import gold from another country. Assume I'm going to import 1 kg gold, and today it is approximately in Indian terms, which is going to be somewhere around 47 lakhs. And as far as if I'm going to buy it from the jeweler, which is available in Indian market, so I'll straight away go and I pay INR of 47 lakhs and I'll buy the gold. But whereas if I'm going for an import, so what I need to do? So I cannot make INR payments. So what, let's say for example, in the global market, and currently which is trading around somewhere around $1,800, and this is the commodity per ounce which is being quoted. So now we need to convert that into kg, so whatever it is, right? So whereas now the payment needs to be done in terms of dollars. So how are we going to make this? Now I have to buy dollar. So it's going to be an importer, and let's say for example, B is a person who is exporting from other country, right? Obviously B is an abroad foreign person. Now I'm going to get gold. Now what is that I need to pay? I just need to pay only USD, not in terms of rupee, but I don't have USD. So from where I can source this? To facilitate import and export, so basically so the Reserve Bank of India and our Indian financial system, and they start selling the foreign currencies. And this is where we call it as, so actually when I say the exchange, when I say any market, I'm going to buy vegetable and I'm going to exchange the Indian rupee. In the previous system, I'm going to exchange each product to the other product. So here we are going to exchange only the currencies, and that's where we call it as, so the foreign exchange market, or we call it as the currency market. So literally speaking, that's where we use the word Forex, and this is the one. So now how do I call it? And that's going to be the most important things. So we know what is the INR. So 1 rupee, that's it. Say for example, if I said 1 rupee, that's an 1 rupee. But whereas if I'm going to buy $1 US, so how much I need to pay? So now I can say that, okay, it is trading somewhere around 74 rupees. So 1 USD equal to 74 INR. So this is a quotation, basically like this is the normal nomenclature which we can do this. But when we go for trading, okay, when the price is being quoted, okay, every time we cannot quote both price quote also. Basically there is something called, let's say for example, if I'm going to say what is the price of gold, just for an example, what is the price of gold? Now I have to say 1 gram equal to 4,700 rupees, or 1 kg equal to 47 lakhs. and this is what we quote. So here I don't understand what is this 1 kg. Am I talking about gold price? So gold is written somewhere. Instead, I am going to write what is gold. So gold equal to 4,700. I cannot write only the numbers. So now I need to write both the price quote also. I have to say 4,700 per gram. So similarly, what we have written is 1 USD equal to 74 INR. So this is basically like we are talking about a price quote. And this is the product which we are planning to buy. This is the price which we are going to quote. Just for a general understanding. But when it comes to currency, so we are not unlike any other product. So like any other products, so basically if you look at here, we are going to talk about just numbers. Similarly, if I'm going to talk about share, so Reliance is going to be so much price. So that's it. I'll use only the word. So Reliance equal to 1,900 rupees. So that's what a Reliance share price is. But whereas when it comes to currency market, we are going to talk about one always relative to the other currency. So now we have to quote it as a currency pair. So hereafter, so I will not write 1 USD equal to 74. We will call it as USD INR. So this becomes the financial instrument, or this becomes the product. So USD INR becomes the product. So what is the value of USD INR? Now it's just simply saying that, okay, 74. So which means now we need to understand what it is. So here the product which you are planning to buy is USD and we are going to sell Indian rupee, and this is what it means. So now I have to say something called, there are two terminologies which you are going to use. So one is called as base currency. So which is nothing but the product which we are going to buy. The other one is either we call it as quote currency. So when I say quote currency, so this is the one which I am going to pay, or we call it as in other term currency. So in terms of, let's say for example, just for a convenience, that is being called as in terms of $1 in terms of rupees, it is 74, and that's how the price is being quoted. So there's a small understanding which is required to know more about the derivatives product. So obviously when I say currency pair, so the always currency is going to be talked in terms of relative to other currency. Number one, that's what we have talked about. USD prices all quoted against INR. So we start writing USD INR. Okay, so currency price is always relative to, so basically like, so that's the one. So when I say the currencies, we know what are all the different commodities or majors. We know what are all the major stocks. We know what are all the major agricultural products. So similarly, when I talk about the major currency which is being globally traded, okay, so the most traded currency pairs in the world are called as major currencies. Now, so here basically if you look at the major currencies are the euro. So this is EUR, stands for euro, and USD, Japanese yen, and Great British pound, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, and Swiss franc. And all these currencies are the major currencies. So individually, like how we call Indian rupee is a currency, so similarly individually all these currencies are the major currencies in terms of. Now the transaction between any two countries among the major currencies, so going to be a major currency pair. So similarly, if you look at the global currency market altogether, so when I say currency market, which is going to be a forex market, so there are lot of active currency pairs are there. So in India, we deal with, let's say for example, we sell INR and we buy USD for making an import payment. So let's say for example, when I talk about the application side. Similarly, if I am an exporter, I am going to receive dollar, and obviously I'll sell dollar to receive INR. So to buy INR. So that's what normally we do. So similarly, if you look at the globally, there are major active pairs like Euro USD and USD JPY.